Hello and welcome to week 3 of our League Pick'em series. My name is Chris, and join with me is my increasingly delusional friend Jason.
Good to be here with you, as always, man, and even better to be delusional these days.
Alright, first up, we'll do our. God, I accidentally set this to the wrong page. We'll do our week 2
Off to a
recap.
great start, man.
And then last week I went 13-3, and Jason went 12-4.
Pretty good for both of us, I think.
Yeah, but Jason again comes up short in the contested picks, deepening
hmm
his hole to start the season.
And these were
And
really close. We'll talk about them, I guess, as we get there.
yep,
But all three of them could have gone either way.
and now that we got week 2 in the books on the season, that puts me at 25-7, and Jason at 20-12.
That's right, Jason at 20-12. Don't worry about the other guy.
Did I say
Yeah.
something weird?
No, you didn't. You've been on fire so far, man. So far, first few weeks of the NFL tend to be the hardest to predict most seasons. And the fact that you're 25-11 already, or no, 25-7 was it? Yeah, 25-7. There's been 32 games.
Yep,
Freaking impressive. Golf clap for you.
I appreciate you stroking my ego.
Wait till we get to the prop bet.
All right. First up last week, we had the Redskins losing to the Packers at Green Bay. I didn't get to watch. Oh, no, wait, my bad. I did watch this game. It was Thursday. Did
You
you
don't remember
guys?
where you were, but you're really good at picking the games.
I just thought it was Sunday for some reason.
Yeah, this was not a terrible game. I mean, Green Bay just looks so good. Washington couldn't keep up with them.
Yeah, I really didn't expect Green Bay's defense to be as good as it has been, but such is life.
They're not the best team in the NFL necessarily, but they might be the most complete right now. There's just no weakness on the Packers.
And then next up, we've got the Ravens blowing out the Browns, which probably shouldn't have been expected, I guess. It was
Yeah.
very close in like the first half, and then they kind of just ran away with it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what they say, a half of a game of football, is not going to get you a win. Um, the Ravens beat up on bad teams like this, and it wasn't much of a surprise. I think I called this exact result last week.
Yep. And then next up, we've got the Bengals just barely edging out the Jags at home. Unfortunately, Joe Burrow went down, and he's probably going to be done for the season, which is just
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
his replacement, I want to say Browning, and I think I had the name wrong. What's his name?
Yeah, Jake Browning, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He looked really good. I got to see
Oh,
a little bit of him playing in.
bro, he threw 3 picks and they still won somehow.
He looked really good near the end. Maybe I did tune into this one late. I think it was after my 1 o'clock game finished. But the little bit that I saw of him, he actually looked quite good. Um, yeah, I mean, what do you take from this? I mean, besides obviously, losing a pretty good starter, is going to be bad for the Bengals, but they started off like what 0-5 last season, I think.
I don't know, but
1-4 or 0-5, something like that.
their aspirations just went down the toilet though without Joe Burrow, because I firmly believe he's pretty much the glue
You think they're
holding.
screwed without Burrow?
Yeah,
Okay.
completely.
I think that's a reasonable take. I don't necessarily agree with it. Jacksonville, do you think they're showing enough signs of life to be even playoff competitors, or do we just write them out now?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence at all. Honestly, they'll probably
I
do
don't think
better
it's
than last year, but still underperform a lot.
yeah, I don't think it's his fault that the rest of the offense is bad. Like sometimes, a quarterback being bad can make the rest of the offense look bad. I don't think that's the case here. I think Lawrence is, a very playable NFL level quarterback that is just surrounded by. I mean, EDN is all right, but I still don't think he's as good as like most people think he is. Often just fails to pick up really clutch, third and fourth downs. I think Trevor's just kind of being let down by the rest of the offense, honestly. There's very few tools there. Defense is okay. Not great.
If you say so.
Yeah. Next is, I'm sure, a game you were going crazy over. I want you to tell me all about this because I was watching the score updates. I had Dallas in my Survivor League.
Yeah, you told me
And,
that.
man, I think my heart stopped and restarted about 6 times this game.
Not even close. Easy peasy. Was never in
Okay.
doubt.
Not even close. Easy.
Yeah, it's like I was telling my friends, and this is exactly how I described it. The Cowboys turned what should have been a statement game into the Baton Death March. That's what I described this as.
I don't know that I would use that particular phrase, but
That's what it
yeah,
was,
definitely.
man.
I think they turned a statement game into a an interrogative statement.
The
There
only
was a
good
big
thing to take
question
away
mark over the
from
back of this one.
the only good thing to take away from their season so far is their offense has put up a shitload of points because their
Yeah.
defense has been so bad. And yeah, this is really bad, and I want to like give Russell Wilson like more credit, but
He deserves
man,
some.
the Cowboys defense is just like next level terrible, and I just think that they have like two great corners, and they've both been hurt so many times, and even though they're both very young still, I think they're both just completely like totaled, man. They're just so weak in the secondary.
It can happen if you get in enough accidents. You know what I mean? You're not going to be driving all 100,000 miles,
And both these
especially if you're
guys had
Chevy.
like record-setting seasons only like 2 or 3 years ago. Like Trayvon Diggs, he had like the franchise record for picks in a season, and then Deron Bland, he had the overall single season record for most pick sixes in a season. This was all only like 2 and 3 or 3 and 4 seasons ago. So it's like
Yeah,
how the
I
mighty have
mean,
fallen, you know.
Dallas D was very good. Before last year, very very good. Um, Yeah, I mean, give some credit to Wilson and of course to Neighbors. The Giants. I think their play calling has certainly gotten better. Having a couple of pieces that you haven't traded away certainly helps. Um, but yeah, like I just want to know what the fourth quarter roller coaster of emotions was like for you, especially when Aubrey hit that 64 yarder.
He's my fantasy kicker because I've seen him make so many great kicks. So he rocked me like 20 points that game. So it was pretty cool.
Do you guys give more points for a 60 yarder than a 50, or is it the same?
50 or more is the same.
50 plus, okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm more happy to see the offense rolling than I
Uh
am
huh.
unhappy to see the defense getting like picked apart. So
It's always
yeah,
more fun when your team has a really good offense, right?
so
Like
I'm trying to
your
look for the
defense,
silver lining.
your defense can hold the other team to 10 points, and if the offense isn't producing, you're still going to get boos in the stadium.
It's certainly not a good sign that like the whipping boy of the NFC East could drop 37 points on us. It's pretty fucking crazy.
Whipping boy the entire NFC, I'd say, besides maybe the Panthers.
All right,
Yeah.
let's move on. It was an ugly win, but they got the W. They could have easily been 2-0 though, to be honest. All right,
And then
next up we've got an absolute shit stomp where the Lions bounce back against the Bears.
and
And
you were
man,
all, oh, this will probably be a close game, and I'm like, Chrissy, this is going to be a stump.
I said that?
Yeah,
I don't
you
think I
said it
said
might
that.
be closer than you think. It
Eh,
was not closer than I think.
yeah, I don't know, man. It was just a revenge game and this was an actual statement game. This is what it should have
Yeah.
looked like.
Yeah, and sorry for cutting you off. Go on.
No, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, and this is, as much as you want to call it a statement game, and certainly the score shows it as a statement game, this is the same statement the Lions have been making for 3 years now. We absolutely demolish bad teams, especially teams with bad defenses. Um, and we either win close or lose close, against teams that are actually good. But the Lions are so impressive, but only when they're playing against bad teams. You'll get games like this if you're playing, fantasy or especially daily fantasy, right? When Detroit has a matchup like Chicago, like maybe Cincinnati, um, like Carolina. Um, I'm gonna say maybe like Pittsburgh this year. Just basically, make sure that you create lineups with several Lions in them because they're all gonna score big.
All right.
Um,
Speaking of bad teams, why don't you
oh yeah,
tell me how the Dolphins are still Super Bowl bound after this one?
this was a really competitive game between the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, several league changes. Really had a little of everything. Great offense, bad offense. A punt return touchdown followed on the next play by a kickoff return touchdown by the other team. Um, yeah, this game was all over the place. It was actually quite entertaining to watch. It was heartbreaking for me. Yeah, either team could have won it, and as much as Tua had a few really good drives, when it mattered right at the end, he was not clutch. Drake May, also kind of uneven throughout the game, but when it was crunch time, May looked so poised and so good. And there was still, I think, one drive at the end where we got him a couple times, and then the Patriots had to punt. Um,
Well,
but I think the biggest story from this is not Miami being 0-2, because at least their offense looked good again this game. It's Drake May and how good he can look. This is his second season. He already looks like he's, coming into, a top half of the NFL kind of form. And New England has just historically been so damn good at developing their talent in-house, not just a quarterback, but everywhere. I've been saying for a while, the Patriots are in rebuild mode, but soon they'll be good. This might be their statement game.
well, as the resident deluded Dolphin fan, how
Mm-hmm.
apocalyptic is it for them to start 0-2 and now they have to play the Bills tomorrow?
Well, yeah. As soon as you said they start 0-2, they didn't start 0-2. They started 0-3 with that loss.
Okay.
And there's no way we're beating the Bills this week. Spoiler alert for my pick. Um, how apocalyptic is it? It is. You have to squint to see a road to the playoffs for Miami. You really have to squint hard.
Damn.
I mean, you're basically crushing your eyes. You have to squint so hard.
I honestly feel like
it's not looking for us.
even though the Cowboys have had some really ugly defense, I feel like they got a good shot at making the wild card, man. You know,
Sure.
they clean up the defense even like 20 or 30%. I think they can win a lot of games.
You're not saying profound things right now. This is, a lukewarm take.
Let's go back to
Yeah.
making fun of the Dolphins, though.
Dallas still. Yeah. I would have loved to have the win against Indy in Week 1. We needed this win, even regardless of how bad we looked last week or Week 1.
I seem to remember someone saying that the Dolphins have had the Patriots number the last like 4 seasons.
They did have the Patriots number the last 4 seasons. This is not the last 4 seasons,
Someone
is it?
told me that.
Yeah. Look. The Patriots last year would not have beaten this Miami team. I'm not even talking about last year's Miami team. The Patriots last year would not have beaten this Miami team. The Patriots have made big strides, and they're going to be really good soon.
All right. Your shit team is taking up too much time.
You're the one who's like, oh, we've already done. Let's make fun of the Dolphins some more.
All right.
And I'm like,
Next
yeah,
up,
okay,
we've
you're
got
right.
the
And you're like,
Niners.
no, you're not getting off that easy. Let's make fun of the Dolphins some more.
The Niners improved to 2-0 over the Saints. In a
They're
game
already
that,
dead. I haven't seen this many dead Dolphins since the Taiji hunt.
All right, homie. This is the game that Brock Purdy didn't play in. This was all Mac Jones against the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And even this was close.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think here?
I don't really know what to make of the Saints, honestly. Some people say they're like the worst team in the league. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an exaggeration. Um, you look at the worst team in the league, I don't think it's a team that's putting up 21 points against the
I
49ers.
tell you what, though, I'm starting to feel worse and worse about my pick for the Niners to bounce back and win the division this season, though,
Yeah.
in that
At least
preseason video we did.
you don't have the Rams at the bottom of that division like I do. Because
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I very quickly have buyer's remorse, or I guess seller's remorse about that pick.
It's like with like George Kittle on IR, and then they got like 4 other injuries, and now Brock's banged up. Man, it's
Yep.
shaping up to be just like last season, except they're starting off better.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they put up 2 wins to start the season is a promising sign.
All right, next up we've got the Bills annihilating the Jets at the same time as I was watching that crazy Cowboy game. Yeah,
Were you happy about this?
Bills are like my second favorite team now, that's for sure. Josh barely did anything in this game because they got out to such a crazy fast start.
Mm-hmm.
Like Josh only ended up with like 20 something fantasy points because they were like ahead the entire game, and James Cook just run this shit the whole game.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a weird and funny game script, but I guess that's what happens when a team goes down by 2 scores that quickly. Um, what else is there to say? Buffalo's really, really good.
Oh yeah, and then Justin Fields also got a concussion in this game for all the impact that has on the league.
Did he come back or no?
You don't come back in the same game and you get a concussion. That would
Well,
crazy.
yeah, I guess if it's a confirmed concussion, you can't come back. But when you said a concussion, I thought you just meant, he was taken to the blue medical tent, never any other color.
Sure he was. I didn't get to watch the game.
Yeah.
Next,
Anyway, yeah, I mean, look, the whole Aaron Rodgers saga just destroyed the Jets. I still think it's very possible that Miami finishes ahead of them.
yeah, that's a race to the bottom in that division, eh?
The race to the bottom, and then there's the Buffalo Bills just staying out of the fray. Yeah.
All right, next we got the Seahawks in a surprising demolition, honestly, of the Steeler defense. My boy Aaron, honestly, did not put up the same production as he did against the Stinky Jets last week.
And you can just see the stink lines coming off of Aaron Rodgers after this one.
I remember we both picked him this week, didn't we?
We did. I was not up on the Steelers. I was just down on the Seahawks after week 1. They finally started to actually throwing some balls to Cooper Kupp. And yeah, you see a much better result. This time it was pretty split between Kupp and Jigba. And the offense was quite productive. Stinky Aaron couldn't do anything. I think he finished with like a 50 quarterback rating. And yeah, the Steelers franchise is ruined. This is going to be the first time in decades that they have a losing season.
Damn, what an overreaction.
Was I not saying the same thing 2 weeks ago?
I think you said they'd have a losing season still, but the Steelers are not the Jets, man. They're actually going to probably course correct, whereas the Jets are just going to drive that thing right into the fucking wall and not look back.
The Steelers certainly didn't let Aaron have as much way with their franchise as the Jets did. They didn't say, bring in all your favorite guys and we'll overpay them. So there's that. But no, their franchise is definitely headed in the wrong direction right now. All right, let's not take too much time because I want to talk about Sean McVay.
Okay, what do you got to say about Sean McVay?
All right. This guy is so bad. He couldn't even call timeout without injuring himself. He tore his what was it called, the fascicular part of his foot.
The head coach hurt himself?
The head coach hurt himself calling timeout. That's how washed this guy is.
Crazy baseless vendetta against this guy.
I haven't seen a more just ridiculous injury since Bill Gramatica pulled his ACL celebrating a field goal.
Okay.
He tore his ACL. He was gone for the season.
Well, anything to say about this particular game?
Uh-huh. I mean, look, Tennessee's not a very good team. The Rams are a very good team. Let me say this. I overestimated how much the loss of personnel would hurt them. I didn't see any actual play from this game. I was kind of keeping up with the flow through just internet updates. But but yeah, I mean, I really like what I have seen from the Rams so far. Defensively, they're monsters. Stafford's playing fine after a couple of really up and down seasons. And yeah, I mean, they're really making this work. I have a lot more faith in the Rams than I did 2 weeks ago. Anything you got to say?
Uh, Not really. I know that like Puka Nuka and like Devonte Adams were like much more split in this game, which is definitely bodes well for like Adams
Hmm.
because
Yeah,
I don't know how washed he is yet. He's still got
I don't think
anything
he's
left.
totally washed. I think you put him on a good team, he can do a lot. And Puka is incredible. He's going to the Hall of Fame if he can stay healthy, for most of the rest of his career.
Hmm.
That's a lot to ask for because he's been hurt a lot, but hopefully he won't be the Greg Oden of the NFL. But if he can stay healthy, this guy's going to the Hall of Fame.
He'll probably just be just like Odell Beckham Jr. Have like 2 or 3 really good seasons when he's like in his early 20s, and then just be like in the ICU the rest of his career.
Yeah, I can sort of see the analogy in the way that they run their routes and the way that they catch like sometimes ridiculous overthrown balls. Um, I don't know. I just feel like Puka's more reliable and just kind of a better route runner than OBJ was. And OBJ was a real talent. Don't get me wrong, but I think Puka is just a better route runner who's maybe a little bit more disciplined.
I'm sure he's more disciplined.
Yeah, OBJ early in his career was Antonio much?
All right, next up we've got the slightly less stinky Cardinals beating the stinky Panthers in Arizona.
Congratulations for winning Toilet Bowl 2.
Yep, I guess we both picked Arizona to win this one.
Yep.
Man, I can't believe the Cardinals are 2-0. I just don't think they're for real, no matter what.
It's so hard to tell with them. I mean, last season, as soon as we both started thinking maybe they're for real, they just, wet the bed. But, yeah, Panthers to me are very disappointing because I felt like they were making some strides and they just haven't been in games this season yet. They just
All
haven't been in a
right,
game.
let's
Yeah.
skip this one and go right to the disappointment of the week. The Colts just absolutely shredded my fantasy defense. Wasn't even close. It was Russell Wilson all over again, but with some loser named Daniel Jones. What the hell happened? And this is what a disappointing showing from the Broncos. I don't even know what to say. I was
Wasn't
so disappointed. I was staring at this scoreboard on my phone the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, very disappointing.
I didn't see any of this, which is really shame on me because with how much I liked from Daniel Jones last week, I should have made an effort to watch this. Uh, I don't have a lot to say other than I assume the Colts looked, almost as good as they did in Week 1 against the Finns. Because we know the Broncos to be a good defense and a competent offense. They did put up 28. Was it 4 touchdowns?
I don't know.
Or was it some weird like scoregami?
I was never to watch the game.
Yeah, it looks like it was 4 touchdowns, 7, 14, 7. Um, yeah, I mean, two good teams here, honestly. I think you got to stop doubting Daniel Jones. I mean, otherwise he's going to become the next Patrick Mahomes for you. You're going to pick against him forever, and you're going to lose.
All right, man. All right. That's some. Nah, man. He's gonna turn back into. his pumpkin, whatever carriage he's fucking in, man.
Daniel Jones is not a pumpkin. New
He's
York
just-
Giants are the pumpkin.
Dude, you gotta be some shit before you turn back into shit. Fuck no. No way the Giants are the pumpkin.
Got some pumpkin butter on the way to my house right now.
They're still like the rotting shit before it was even turned into a nice carriage.
The fertilizer that was used to grow the pumpkin.
Yes, there you go. All right, let's move on to the truly best game of the week.
And sent it off to the Indianapolis Colts.
All right, enough.
Okay.
Let's move on to the next greatest game of the week. Patrick Mahomes loses 3 games in a row for the first time in his career, snapping his chance of ever catching Tom Brady's record to start a career. Best game ever.
This was a good game. I was rooting for the Chiefs, but it was fun to watch, except for the 18 times that Philly went to the tush push. It was like literally every third and fourth down, Philly was just tush pushing. I don't begrudge them for that at all. It's an effective move. It's just not enjoyable to watch.
Yeah,
and I'm really surprised how other teams haven't adopted it and made it work.
Yeah, see, I'm in like the camp that you only hate it because you ain't it. And there are 1 or 2 other teams that try to do it, but obviously no one's as good as doing it as the Eagles. Like the Bills, I think, do it the second most, and they don't even really do it.
Yeah. I don't hate that they're doing it. I just hate watching it because it's not like skillful football. It's just a big scrum.
I don't mind
but, again, I don't begrudge them for coming up with it and for using it so effectively where other teams can. So good for them. Both defenses played very well in this game. Mahomes looked pretty ordinary, and Kelsey just looked like trash in this game. Travis Kelsey, to be clear, since it is Philadelphia, Kansas City.
The other one's retired.
I know, but it's still Philadelphia, Kansas City, right? Somebody out there is thinking I mean Jason Kelsey.
Alright, enough getting excited about that one. Next, we got a very dominant defensive win by the Falcons, whose defense is like emerged as the best one in fantasy right now, at least in my league, against the Vikings. And then J.J. McCarthy went down in this game, and now he's going to be gone for like a month.
Yeah, that's
quite a bummer to start a career.
Definitely not an injury you want going forward, yeah.
Missed his whole rookie season. He's healthy for 1 game. Now he's going to be out for another month.
What do you think about the fact they only put up 6 points?
I think probably whatever assholes their backup probably sucked and didn't have a lot of practice with like the team probably.
Do you believe that they could have been like a really good team with JJ? Because, I mean, he is a decent quarterback, it looks like.
I mean, the logic seems to be if you can pull off what they did last year with Sam Darnold, that any Joe Blow dregs off the street can probably produce with Justin Jefferson and gang.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, you just hope that they'd be able to rush the ball for more than 6 points, even if they lose all their quarterbacks. Bad look for the Vikes. Anything to say about the Falcons here? There's still a team I can't get my hands, my mind around.
I don't think Penix is particularly good. He seems to just be doing the absolute bare minimum. Truth be told, if I have to speak from my heart, I kind of want him to like blow at his kneecap so Kirk Cousins can come back and start cooking again.
That's just sadistic. Wow. Okay, easy with the voodoo. But John Robinson looking very good. He was like a really hot fantasy commodity a year or two ago. I think a year ago it was, and didn't do as much as people were hoping, but yeah, like he's looking good lately.
Yep. All right. Next, we on to Monday night, and we have the Bucks just barely beating the Texans. This was honestly had a lot of action in like the end of the game, and then almost nothing happened like in the first half, basically.
I was lucky enough to only watch the second half of this. But yeah, I mean, I think both teams looked good in parts. Defense looked. Houston's defense looked incredible in the second half of that game. I rarely see a team play with that much fire without making a lot of mistakes and penalties. Yeah, they gave CJ and the offense a lot of chances to make this work, and the offense just couldn't do enough.
I kind of
But
have a different take. I watched this whole game like
mhm,
wasn't feeling well, but my even though Bucks only won by 1 point, I honestly
uh-huh.
think Stroud looked really bad, and then Baker honestly looked much better.
I agree with that.
It
Yeah.
was just the way they were moving the ball. It just made Baker look like way more productive than how the Texans were moving it.
Yeah, the Texans definitely were only able to move that kind of in fits and starts. Baker had a pretty I don't want to say pedestrian, decent, satisfactory game stat wise.
That's my
But
fantasy quarterback.
I agree with you that like he really looked like he was able to kind of efficiently move it, almost in the same way. I think the Eagles. Hurts was only throwing like an average of 4.5 yards per attempt, is what the Eagles gained during that game. But because he was able to kind of do it consistently and efficiently, it looks better than the stats would ever show.
All right, and then our last game of the week, we've
Mm-hmm.
got the Chargers pretty much just dismantling the Raiders in all phases of the ball. But
Yep.
there's a deep, dark underlying story behind this game for me.
Is it John Gruden?
It is not John Gruden. He's not even the
Damn.
coach.
Well, I think they've been ruined since he was the coach.
Nah, man. I had one fantasy player left in this game, and my opponent had one fantasy player left in this game, and I
Mm-hmm.
was losing up until like the last drive of the game, and then I pulled ahead by like 2 points, or no, it's like, yeah, 2 points or whatever, because I had like Lad McConkey or whatever and Ashton Genty at the same time. And then the worst thing that's ever happened to me in fantasy happened, but not before the best thing happened though. My opponent had a Mario Hampton. He's like the Chargers running back. And then like the last Chargers drive of the game, he fumbled it. And then my opponent had him, and I went up by 2 points, and I won the game. And then later, they made a stat correction that instead of a Mario Hampton fumbling it, they placed it on Sean Herbert for the handoff, and he got the -2 instead, and I ended up being forced into a tie.
And your win got completely retracted.
That's right.
Well, at
I
least
did
it
some
was
hardcore research into this stat correction, and I watched the replay a million times, man. That fucking handoff was clean, man. He wasn't even looking like it was bobbling or nothing. Now, I'll tell you, it was fast. Like, right after the handoff, it got smacked out of his hands. But there ain't no way it was on Sean Herbert. It was bullshit.
wow. The power of good stories. I think we should just hand you the Iron Throne and the Six Kingdoms right now, honestly, because wow, the power of stories.
Well, I deserve, like, King's Landing and those 2 points, man. Shit.
You get one or the other, Chrissy.
Absolute pride away from me, that dub, man. Absolutely. It was a clean handoff and everything. It was preposterous that it was more Herbert's fault than Hampton's fault.
And that's probably the most interesting thing in the world that came out of Chargers Raiders because I intentionally just chose not to watch this game. I could have very easily watched it, and I just knew that the Raiders were not going to give me anything interesting. I feel like I made a good move with 3 hours of my time, quite honestly.
Yep. All right, let's get into our Week 3 predictions. Spent a hell of a long time making fun of the Dolphins.
Of course we did.
Recap, and then the Cowboys, and then my fantasy nonsense. I gotta tell some stories so you can live vicariously through my fantasy league since you're not playing, right?
That is correct.
There you go. Okay.
I'm only in the Survivor League this year.
Who'd you do you have to pick someone to lose every week, or do you have to pick everyone to win or something?
You pick one team to win every week. You can't pick the same team multiple weeks to win. And if you pick wrong any given week, you're gone. And in fact, if there's a tie, you're also gone. So
So
if Dallas didn't
you picked the
actually,
Cowboys for the whole
yeah,
thing?
I picked the Cowboys this week.
Why
Well, I
wouldn't you
picked them
just
in week.
why wouldn't you
What?
just pick against like the Saints or the Jets or something?
Sometimes you do stuff like that, but I wanted. I figured there wasn't going to be another game this season. I would want to pick the Cowboys in. So let me get them out of the way now and keep better teams for later.
You should have saved it till the second meeting they have with the Giants. They'd probably be even more one-sided, I bet, because
I've got
they'll
more
adjust by
confidence
then.
the first time.
Who'd you pick to win in the first week?
First week I had Cincinnati, so both of them were heart stoppers for me.
Oh man,
17-16 and
crazy,
overtime.
crazy! You picked Cincinnati in week one, dude.
Cincinnati actually finished me off both times last season. There were so many weird results at the beginning that the league was over in 5 weeks, and we restarted it, and I lost on Cincinnati again.
Better than riding or dying with your home team. I'm picking
I don't know that
I'm
I'm going to
picking
be
the
picking the
Dolphins.
Dolphins at all this
Yeah.
season. Maybe if they get the chance to play Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay, that'll okay. All right. Speaking of the Dolphins, I don't think
Yeah,
we probably have to spend too much time on this. I don't think they're going to summon up the will to beat their nemesis at home after an embarrassing loss, after a dominant Bills win. The Bills just own this matchup.
they do. I think in the last 5 or 6 years, the playing twice every single season and sometimes in the playoffs. I believe the Dolphins have won this a total of once, and that wasn't the Dolphins team that this is. It's going to Buffalo.
That's one more than I would have guessed.
Oh, real nice. Go back a few years before that, we won most of them.
Yeah, the Bills were really bad for a long time.
Even when Josh Allen was on the team, they were doing very well and winning the division every season. The Dolphins actually had their number to an extent, especially before December.
All right, next up, we've got the Falcons at Carolina.
Uh-huh.
And I am definitely going with that emergent Falcons defense in this game. This Bryce Young guy, he is like got to be inches away from being like thrown in front of a firing squad after this third season of mediocrity.
Maybe they'll ship him to Cleveland.
Yeah, there you go. It's where all the great careers go to resurge.
Yeah, I mean, I like Atlanta right now as a team, and one of these teams is not the Panthers. We're both picking them.
The thing is, I don't really have any faith in like Michael Penix Jr., but there's obviously a good amount of pieces with the Falcons right now.
Yeah, this is a competent team, unlike the Panthers.
All right, next up we've got the Red Hot Packers against the Browns at home. You got a similar take for this one?
This one might be closer than you think. Yeah, this is an easy win for the Packers. I actually don't think it's going to be like a 35-point blowout or anything like that. But I don't think that Green Bay is ever going to struggle in this game. I've got them all the way, and I would bet my home on it.
Yeah. I want to believe that the Browns still have that like insanely feisty defense of like the last 3 seasons, but all that magic might have been used up.
Yeah, I mean,
gotta go with the
they
Packers.
exerted a lot of effort, keeping up Deshaun.
All right, next up we've got the Houston Texans at Jacksonville. And this one actually might be close just because of the struggling nature of like the Texans of late. I think their offense is just on life support. People say they have like a pretty good defense. Maybe that's true. Say they have like a ferocious pass rush. So maybe my prop bet should be Trevor Lawrence gets injured this game.
Oh,
They do have
way
like
that
2 great rushers. You know?
The way that the Texans were rushing and tackling last week definitely made it look like I don't want to say that they wanted to hurt someone, but that they were going to hurt someone. Just with the speed and violence and passion that they were playing. So it's not a terrible profit if that's the one you want to make. But I've got Houston
Yeah.
in this one. I think that Jacksonville is struggling a little bit too much. I also think that you've oversold the demise of the Houston offense. I mean, anything with Nico Collins on it should be able to do something.
Yeah,
And
I mean, he's good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And quite honestly, like even in their bad games, Houston can move the ball in big fits and spurts. It's just they haven't been able to do it consistently.
So who you got for this
Do you have
game?
Houston,
Are you
or you
going
think
back
they've got
on the
Jacksonville?
Jags?
What?
You going back with the Jags magic?
No, I haven't thought the Jags were sneaky good since the last year. I've got the Texans. How about you?
Yeah, I got the Texans too, but I predict it will be a struggle. And
Yeah, that's the first
yeah,
game that's on our schedule so far that I think we would call a good game.
yeah. All
Yeah.
right, next up we got Cincinnati at Minnesota. It is the
Hmm.
battle of the two missing quarterbacks from that got hurt last week, funny enough.
That's
No
true.
Joe Burrow, no JJ McCarthy. This literally could be anything. I don't even know what to make of this game. They say the Vikings have a good defense, but even a shit quarterback probably has lots of weapons on Cincinnati. I mean, I don't know. This could be
It's
anything.
def-
What do you think?
it's definitely an interesting one. I am going for Cincinnati here, and the reason I'm taking them is because I think they've had more experience without their lead quarterback at the helm in the last few years. I think it's just a team that didn't really try to build around someone new. I think they're going to be able to run more of their game plan than Minnesota is. So for that reason, I've got the Bengals. As much as I don't feel comfortable picking the Bengals after what they've done in the last 2 weeks.
All right, I hear you. I mean, there's no bad argument really. I'm gonna go with Minnesota though, because I believe their backup quarterback, the guy playing, I think it's Carson Wentz, and I don't think that guy is like terrible. I mean, at one point in time, he was like in the MVP discussion once, a long time
That was a
ago.
long time ago,
A
but
long
yeah.
time ago. And
Yeah.
I'm just convinced that even as anemic as he might be in this point in his like career, I
Hmm.
think the like Justin Jefferson will be good enough to get him through it, and I think the Vikings defense will be good enough to make Jake Browning look like shit.
Look very brown, if you will.
Yes, you caught it. You got it. So I got Minnesota.
All right.
All right, next up we've got Pittsburgh going to New England, and
Yeah.
this could be another close game just because of like the trends up versus down at play here. Right out of the gate, I'm just going to say that I refuse to believe that the Mike Tomlin defense will be torched for a third game in a row, and for that reason, I'm going with the Steelers.
I'm so torn on this one. My heart says the
I refuse to
Patriots.
believe.
My head does say the Steelers just by a little bit. I feel like this is like a 60-40 game.
Pick the Patriots because you
Um,
hate Aaron. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
I really want to do that, but and it is for that reason. Yes. Uh,
Come on. You need to
I,
catch up.
I
Pick the Steelers.
I
I mean,
still
pick the
don't see the
Patriots.
world where the Patriots can put up 30 plus in 2 straight games. Yeah, May did look good. Um,
You got to catch up, man. Pick the Patriots. Come on. Come on.
I'm not going to be baited into this. I'm taking the Steelers,
Okay.
and I'm hoping for the Patriots.
Come on. 5 games behind now. You got to pick the Patriots.
Shut up.
All right. Next up, we've got a barn burner. Supposedly, we got 2-0 Rams at Philadelphia against the 2-0
Yeah.
Eagles. And the Rams have probably actually looked better offensively than the Eagles to start the season. And the Eagles' defense is not what it was at the end of last season.
Yeah, I mean the Eagles' defense is still really good. I think if anything, they're struggling a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I guess the first week it was more of an a defensive struggle for them.
I
And
think
this
they're a
last week,
very shaky 2-0. They easily could be 0-2.
they could, but they played good teams too. Um,
Oh, thank you for the compliment. What do you
uh,
think here, man?
I
Sean
think this is
McVay,
going to
got to
be
pick the
a
Eagles,
really
right?
good, close game. The Rams are looking pretty invincible. Philly, we know to be an extremely good team who seems to have just been a little bit messier than they should have been so far this season.
How do you think
They're
the
playing.
Rams' injuries will affect this game?
They're playing. Maybe he can stop doing damage now. Oh my god. Rams injuries. That's brilliant. Um. Yeah, I mean, at least with his foot being injured, maybe he can't put his foot in his mouth as much. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles just because they're playing at home. I think this is a really close matchup. I'm
They say,
probably gonna spend my 1 o'clock hour watching this.
yeah, they say the Rams have a feisty defense. Also, though, I haven't really seen it.
They absolutely do. Their corners are so good.
Yeah, this is tough, man. Eagles are like probably my third favorite team, honestly, third or fourth. I think I'm gonna
Fly,
take the Eagles at what?
fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the Eagles at home too. I mean, it's been 2 games and Barkley hasn't really lit it up yet. I think he's due to torch something or other, you know.
These teams, yeah. I mean, this could end up being like one of those like 45 to 42 games where the defense didn't even play that badly. And it's just one of those games that fans of either team will remember forever. Um, I'm excited for this one, and despite the pick for Philly, like I just want to put so much respect on the Rams' name for the fact that they're still good years after they basically traded away the future. That's all.
All right, next up we've got the Jets at Tampa,
Mm-hmm.
0-2 versus 2-0, and
Yeah.
it's very unlikely that he'll come back his very first week after the concussion. At least that's been my experiences with the concussion. So, and that's saying that keeping Justin Fields is optimistic. Whoever's backing him up could be just as bad. And so, with that being said, even though the Jets are supposedly supposed to have a decent defense, I definitely gotta
They used to.
ride or die with Tampa.
Yeah, the Jets,
I
so-called
know Aaron
vaunted
Rodgers
defense.
ruined their defense. I know, I get it.
Well, definitely ruined their salary cap. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, they didn't even
Um,
pay him shit.
they paid him a lot, and he brought in other like bronzies that that they had to pay to make Aaron happy. Never give a quarterback control of your franchise unless that quarterback is Tom Brady. Speaking of TB is going to win this game. I'll take Baker over Backer any day of the week.
Are you sure?
Aaron Rodgers sucks.
Okay, next up we've got Indianapolis against Tennessee, and
Uh-huh.
all I can say is I don't like the Giants and I don't like Indianapolis, but you got to go with the hot hand. And
Do
for
you like the
some reason,
Titans?
fuck no. For some reason, Daniel Jones is
I don't know why you
cooking.
were talking about the
I don't.
Giants.
I don't believe it'll last. He's gonna like fall on his ass, probably hurt himself, and throw 5 picks in one game eventually. But for now, you got to go with the Colts, right?
Not for now. I think Daniel Jones is the future there, and I'm taking him in the present as well. Indy for sure.
All right. Next up, we've got the Raiders at
Mm-hmm.
Washington, and the Washington offense hasn't been great so far, but I'm
Yeah.
very confident that they'll, get on track and start looking pretty dominant. And as I think the Raiders are improved this season, I don't think they'll be improved enough to overcome Washington.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that the Raiders really have a lot to offer right now. As I said when I pointed out how I intentionally missed their game. Yeah, Washington has been sputtering a little bit, but I think still justifies a lot more faith than the Raiders do, right?
Yeah. All right,
At least,
next up, we've got a much closer game. We got the Broncos at Los Angeles, the Chargers. And this one's definitely going to be a close one, or the Chargers might shit on them because their defense isn't playing well for some reason.
yeah, I actually agree with your assessment completely. I think that this could be a really good game, or the Chargers could pull away early. I don't know which one is going to happen, but I think it would be foolish to pick the Broncos when the Chargers are looking this good.
I agree, and it pains me. It pains me, but I have to pick the Chargers too.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we've got the Saints against the Seahawks at home. Don't have a hell of a lot to say about this game. I don't really think the Seahawks are that good, but they obviously are more in touch with, the fundamentals than the Saints are at the moment. At least as
Of
long
course.
as the Saints are starting that Spencer Rattler fool.
I mean, who else do you want them to start though? I'm not
Uh,
saying Spencer's any good, but like, give him a chance.
they should probably just start that rookie quarterback they took in the first round, whatever the hell his name is.
Uh, Throw him into the fire this quickly doesn't always end well. I don't mind what they're doing, but I agree that Seattle definitely has more parts in working order right now. And I actually think they're a better team than you believe they are.
Maybe they are. I also don't believe in Sam Darnold.
All right. Tell me why your Cowboys are going to make this into a 2-point game this week.
Oh man, I bet Bears fans are probably salivating and like, man, we can put up 40 points in this game, and the
Yeah,
Cowboy.
we can look good in our loss.
It's like the funny thing is, the Bears are probably the fan base I hear the most about, and when you listen to Bears fans, they
Uh-huh.
sound just like Cowboys fans, but much more depressed and much worse.
I
They're
was going to
very
say they sound like New
reminiscent.
York.
That's what they remind me of. Except they
Uh-huh.
even haven't even had the intermittent successes like the Cowboys have had from time to time. You know.
Yeah, the Bears really haven't been good since really the 80s is the last time they were really good. I think there was a little run they had where they were pretty good, like playoff, real contenders for a couple
Uh,
years. I think in the early 2000s. I forget who it was under, but
Jay Cutler really haven't been good since they
y-
had Jay Cutler.
yeah, that might have been it. But really, yeah, the Bears have not been good. Haven't even been decent, honestly, for a long time.
Yeah. So
Uh,
who do you have for this game? Because honestly, I don't think the Bears really even have a bad offense. They're just so inconsistent, and
this is
there's
not my prop. Um, Sorry for cutting you off, but I'm going to answer your question. I've got the Cowboys by 4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns. I think they're going to blow them out because that's what Dallas does to bad teams.
Well, let me tell you what Dallas also does.
Hmm.
Dallas will never be up by 4 touchdowns because as soon as they're in usually one possession, but as soon as they go into a 1 or 2 possession lead, they
Yeah.
immediately, and they've done this my whole fucking life, they'll immediately go into the prevent nothing
Prevent
defense.
defense.
The
Yeah.
prevent nothing. That's what I
Hmm.
call it. The prevent nothing.
I know you've said it a million
Yeah.
times.
And
It's
they'll
not
just
incorrect.
they'll end up maybe they'll win the game, but they'll end up getting
Yeah.
it back into 3 or 7 points or something. So there is no
Yeah.
universe where they'll be up by 4 touchdowns at the end of the game.
Dallas does have a way to play down to worse teams, but I think when they play a really bad team, and the Bears are that right now, they tend to often blow out that really bad team. And you get to come on gloating about your Dallas Boomstick D the next week,
I, I,
knowing that as soon as they actually have to play a good team, they're going to lose by 3.
I know they're my favorite team, but I think I'm very fair and honest about the Cowboys, man.
Well,
I
you
boast
know,
when they do good, and I condemn all the bad things that happen.
I'm sure you're a very fair judge in your own mind.
I never hype them up
You taking
unnecessarily.
Dallas?
I have to take Dallas because it would just be heresy to not take Dallas. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like the Bears are like the antithesis of clutch. So it's like, but that's like also kind of the Cowboys too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think
I'm the
like
lie.
if the Bears are like, yeah, I don't know what I'm going with that. Yeah, we're
That's just
taking the Cowboys,
fun.
but I wouldn't be surprised how close this game is.
You want to put a pizza on it?
It's just the Cowboys play down to their opponent or they play up to their opponent. That's just how they roll.
Do you want to put a pizza on it?
I don't want to put a pizza on the Cowboys getting 4 touchdowns or
Okay.
being up by 4 touchdowns when they win,
All right, let's move on then.
even though I think it's impossible and it would be an easy pizza.
Stop talking about the Cowboys.
All right, next up we've got the Cardinals at San Francisco. We got
Uh-huh.
two 2-0 teams, but I am not convinced either of these teams really deserve it, to be honest.
One of them is going to have to be 3-0 at the end of this.
Yeah, that's depressing. I guess I don't know, man. It hurts. It hurts to pick the Cardinals. It hurts.
Does, but it's like you can see the hope there, right?
It's just the
How big
Niners are so banged up, you know.
they are. As long as CMC is looking good, I'm okay with taking a flyer on the 49ers. That's going to be my pick for this one. I could definitely see the way that they lose it, but I don't think that Purdy is as big of a loss as it seems. It's a competent franchise. They'll have practice with backups. All you need to do really is hand it off to CNC over and over and over. And if you're not playing against a very good defense, like, is the 49ers line that banged up? I know that like a lot of their fantasy positions are. But if their line is okay and CMC is okay, how are you going to stop these guys?
Yeah, I think they're gonna find a way to lose. I think I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
Totally get that. Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
All right, next up we've got the Chiefs playing the Giants at home, and
Oh, you love picking against the Chiefs. Are you going to
it,
do it here
it,
after the Giants put 37 up on your boomstick D?
it's just I never said that a good defense.
You said that a lot last year.
Not last year, the year before that, maybe.
Maybe.
Last year, nothing went well.
Man, I'm like 40 years old. You know, the time just like melts together.
All
You'll see when
right,
you're 40.
this is definitely a shit bowl 3, and I can justify that by the
Oh my.
fact that they're both 0-2. So ha.
Yeah, I'm not buying that for a second. Okay, we have Pittsburgh, New England. We have Arizona, San Francisco banged up. We have
Those are two
Tennessee
and
and
zero.
Indianapolis, who you think their savior is nothing. Cleveland is in one of these games.
Okay, if they're just in the game, okay,
Yeah,
they're in the league. Yeah.
they just pull the other team down by virtue of being in the same stadium. Uh, I've got Kansas City in this. You want to be bold and pick against Mahomes again? They're 0-2.
Well, the truth is, if the Giants replicate even half of what they did against the Cowboys, the
Yeah.
Chiefs won't stand a chance because they're just underperforming in all phases of the game right now.
Do you not believe that the Chiefs D is still playing well?
I don't think it's playing that well.
I mean, look at what they did in week 1. Maybe not great. Look at what they did in week 2 against the Eagles. They did look very good on defense.
I just hate myself if I picked the Chiefs and they end up losing again. So I didn't pick the Chargers when they lost, and it was
Picking
very
you.
upsetting.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to have that type of regret, do you? When you pick the Giants and you win, You're going to be able to just rub this in my face all of week 4. Really? How could you not pick them?
You got a point there, and you've already embarrassed yourself in only 2 weeks. I think I will pick the Giants, just
Got
because
them.
you gave me such a cushion already with very little time.
You win.
All
It'll be
right.
it'll be fascinating if this ends up being like a really close game. Honestly.
I think it very well could be, honest, to be true.
Okay. Okay. Put a
Next
pizza
up,
on it.
I'll put a pizza on the Cowboys thing if you really want to, but the Chiefs one is just too toss up. It's a home
But
game for the Giants, though.
Cowboys are going to win by more than 7 points. Is the side I would take of that?
You just said they had to win by 28.
I was saying I think they're going to win by 20. I'm certainly not going to make that the pizza bet.
Well, that's what you were saying for pizza time. You can walk it back. I understand.
All right, fine. I'll walk it back. Detroit, Baltimore.
Yeah. This one's also pretty tough to call. Definitely going to be a fun one to watch. I don't really know how to justify this one way or the other. What do you think, man?
I'm taking Baltimore in this. Not only are they playing at home, but Detroit, like I said, looks so impressive against bad or even mediocre teams. Um, their defense can't really hold. I don't think somebody like Jamal in check. And in addition to that, their offense doesn't look as good as you might expect when they're playing against a very good team. Granted, Baltimore's defense can sometimes give up some really bad gashes, but even with one or two mistakes, I think they're going to take the ball back from the Lions enough that they can basically just win time of possession and win the game. Uh, I don't even think it's going to be super close, even though Detroit's a very good team. I've got Baltimore, and I feel confident in it. And I'm rooting for Detroit for whatever that's worth.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you, man. I think I gotta take the Ravens too, and I definitely want the Lions to succeed, though. Also, I
I
feel
mean, after
exactly the
that
same
giant,
way. I want the Lions to win.
yeah, I mean, there's probably not a lot of people out there besides maybe like Bears fans, right? Who wouldn't be happy with seeing the Lions win a Super Bowl.
Yep, I gotta go with the Ravens too.
I love the Lions, but yeah, I think the Ravens. Honestly, I do think they're the better team, and I think that in a matchup like this, especially, I feel fairly confident they're going to. All right, now, I told you in advance you'd like my prop bet, so I
Let's
want to
hear
make you
this
wait
dumb
a minute or
shit.
two more. Let's hear yours first.
Yeah, you had a good idea, and I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna say that Trevor Lawrence gets hurt in the Texans game, and
All
I'll
right.
even double down. He's gonna hurt his collar. He's gonna blow out his collarbone.
Okay, your prop is
He's
going to
gonna
be
Tony Romo
R.I.P.
style
Trevor
it.
Lawrence's collarbone.
Tony Romo style, man. He's gonna blast that collarbone, man.
Tony Romo, a place for ribs. All right, we've got R.I.P. Trevor Lawrence collarbone. You're gonna
Hmm.
like mine as well. And we need to go back to the props from last week too. We didn't discuss this.
I
But
checked
my
them.
prop for this week is the Miami game. I've noticed that McDaniel's tends to really give him try to win games, even if it means that his team's going to be embarrassed on the scoreboard. He's going to take a 1% chance to win and a 99% chance to get blown out over a safe 0% chance to. So, I think the Dolphins are going to get behind in the second or third quarter. I think they're going to really try to push the ball in the fourth quarter. And I think that Buffalo's boomstick D is going to make them pay. I have Miami committing 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter of that game, including turnovers on downs. 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter.
I give it to you, but not if they turn it over just because they went for it on fourth down.
I mean that's a big part of it too. It means that they're far behind and they're pushing it. I mean that's the prop I'm making. 3 turnovers in the fourth, including turnovers on downs.
I do not accept the validity of this prop bet then.
Okay, that's my prop bet. You don't have to accept it in your crazy world.
It's too easy. All they got to do is fumble or turn it over once and then go for it on fourth down a couple times.
Find me 2 teams who have done it this year.
That is such an easy set of circumstances to happen in the fourth quarter.
You're like imagining that the Dolphins will actually be able to get the ball more than once in the fourth quarter.
Why not? The Bills are probably just going to try to run out the clock and then just like do a draw down the middle a bunch of times and just punt it away and let the Dolphins run out the clock. They'll probably be ahead by like 30 points and just give it back to the Dolphins so they can just put themselves out of their misery. I think it's a ridiculously easy set of circumstances to occur.
You want to bet a pizza? You'll say that it will happen?
I don't know if it will happen. That's not the point. Is it's way too likely to have happened.
Okay, I have one more. If you'd rather do this, I have.
Now, if you said like 3 fumbles or 3 interceptions combined or something, that would be like okay.
I was also thinking about my other prop. I was thinking about was Chicago and the Giants combining for exactly 2 touchdowns throughout the entire games.
Did you say the Giants in Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay.
They score a total of exactly 2 touchdowns combined.
Okay, no, that I think is much less likely because the Cowboys.
You'd rather I do that? Okay.
Yeah, that's way more better because the Cowboys are just letting anyone walk all over them this season, you know?
Okay, we can do that then.
And when they go into the prevent nothing, that's at least 20 points.
2 touchdowns combined. And speaking of touchdowns, last week, our prop bets, I want to just pat myself on the back a little bit for this one. I said that the Lions would have a blowout, statement game, if you will, and that Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs would both have 100-plus yards and 2-plus touchdowns.
Yeah, you got 3/4 of it. I checked on.
Yeah, St. Brown had 122 yards, 3 touchdowns. Gibbs had 104 all-purpose yards and 1 touchdown. Goff was throwing almost all of them. So I still think that was a pretty good call by me. Meanwhile,
what did I pick? I don't even remember what I picked.
You had Lamar, Dak, Josh Allen,
that's right,
Nix, and Jalen Hurts all have 2-plus rushing touchdowns.
Well,
Let's go through one by one, and this took a little while to research.
No, Lamar. I knew Dak wasn't going to get in.
Lamar, 0 rushing touchdowns. Dak, 0 rushing touchdowns. Josh Allen, 0 rushing touchdowns. Bo Nix, 0 rushing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts, 1 tush push right near the end of the game.
That was close. Okay, 1/10.
You got 1 tush. You got 10% of the way to your prop bet, and it was on the tush push. This would be like you predict a team has 10 sacks and they get 1 sack.
Well, I can predict things that are way more likely. I just kind of
pick something unlikely. Oh my god.
I honestly think there's a way bigger chance of Trevor Lawrence getting hurt than that one.
I think if you said those 5 would combine for 1 rushing touchdown, I would have accepted that as a prop bet because that was so unlikely. You could not have been further off.
You think it's unlikely for Jalen Hurts to get 1 rushing touchdown and Lamar Jackson? That's crazy.
No. I'm saying it would be very unlikely for all of them to combine for 1 or less.
Oh, okay. That would have been good.
Yeah, I think if you give me these 5 and you say how many rushing touchdowns will they have this week, I'd guess probably 4. So, 10 is a good prop bet, but 1 would have also been a good prop bet. You went the other way? Well. Anyway, we're probably coming up on our longest video ever, aside from those 4-hour league videos. So.
Yeah, it's getting up there.
Yeah, why don't we call it here unless you want to talk more about the Dallas Cowboys?
No. I'm always nervous. That's why they're the cardiac Cowboys,
Yeah. it's fun to root for a team like that, to be a fan and to experience the whole roller coaster. But I look forward to at least scoring a point on you in Kansas City, New York this week.
I don't know.
Maybe
My,
getting
my my instincts have been pretty solid. How many contested games we got this so far this week?
we've got three contested games. We got
What?
Minson. We've got the Cardinals and 49ers, and we've got my point on the Chiefs.
I'm sorry. Can you go over those again?
Sure. We've got Minnesota, Cincinnati, Arizona, San Francisco, and New York Giants, Kansas City.
Hmm. Felt like we
God, I'm going to
disagreed.
hate you so much if you win this week.
I swear, I felt like we disagreed on one or two more.
No, we were in lockstep for a lot of it. I mean, I know that you were trying to tempt me to pick New England, but I
I
wasn't
didn't
going to
think I'd
fall for
have to
that.
try. I didn't think I'd have to try. Come on. Your hatred is so strong.
Look, I'm just seeing. You can see the stink lines coming off of the guy. But it's New England. You know, they haven't been good for a long time. Let me see one or two more like good performances that aren't against the Dolphins. Before I really believe in the Patriots. That's all.
Yeah, I guess it was just three. I thought it was 4 or 5.
We'll have those weeks, man. We'll have those weeks. But take your lousy three differences this week, and I'll see you next week.
All right. Well, that does it for week 3, and good luck.